This is Tong Vu from Remax Code, and welcome to my virtual open house tour. This home is a 3 to 4 bedroom with 2 bath at 1327 square feet on 2.99 acres. The home was built in 1961. As you can see, we are walking through the driveway into the main courtyard of the home. To your left is a little barn, or you can call it workshop. Now I'm gonna pan this around. This is the backyard, your garage, your commercial size refrigerator, and right between the barn and the commercial size refrigerator is a chicken coop that you can raise chicken. As we walk on by, now please forgive me because I am still an amateur at flying drone. So here is another picture view of the chicken coop. Now to my left is the barn, or you can call it a workshop if you would like to call that, because technically it has a sliding door and the home is partially cemented. So if anyone who wants to purchase this and turn this into a basic workshop, you can do that too. You have the options to do it. As we're walking onto the field, this is now this property is not what you call a quite rectangular piece of land. It has a little sticking bottle point, neck point out, and that field is large enough that you can actually put another home on top of that land. Now that empty field was used as a it was used with a greenhouse, and they placed a greenhouse on top of it, and the seller grew flowers on the land. Here I'll take a little spin and give you a little view of what the neighborhood looks like. Now, despite the fact that it's an open field out here, you got lots and lots of trees, so it's pretty much very nice and cozy and shaded. That's another view of the farm field that I will be taking you to. So as here we are approaching the farm field, which is currently located to the right of the house. Now the the border of the field are wide enough that you can actually drive a truck right through it. This is the one on the empty field that are left open for trucks or for cars to drive through, and it especially works out. Now this field right here is a tomato field, and also they grew some beans in here. On average, they told me, from what I heard, that they make at least 10 grand a week or 2 weeks, every other week, from selling these farm produce. To my right is the border of the land, and your neighbors, of course, has a horse property. So they have horses. They're raising horses on this property. So guess what? You can actually raise horse on this property too if you should choose to use it as a horse property and not as a farmland. But to me, I think it would be a waste, because this whole entire area is irrigated for farming. As we can proceed, if the drone can just, if I could just fly the drone evenly and keep on going, you can see that we're approaching towards the end of the whole entire field. And you notice that the land is so huge that the seller didn't ended up using all the land at all. Here in front of you is just an empty field that's not even being used or tilted. So you could have put another house on here, or you could do whatever you want to do on here. You know, for those people that have lots and lots of imagination, they would be able to do anything with this piece of land. Now, coming back to the field, I'm trying to keep it straight. Right in front of you is a paved road. It's actually overtaken by weeds. So for those who wants to um, put something on it, or maybe has some heavy equipment on there, they could actually restore this pavement by white and one, getting rid of all these weed, and this pavement will, you don't need to repave it because it's pretty much paved. It's just the fact that the weed has taken over the cracks and has long overgrown grass on there. Now to your right, there are plenty of sheds. So these sheds you can use for storage of anything. Of course, you have to restore it and you have to fix some of it because I can see that some of them are broken in. Now in back, like I said, the seller did not have enough time to even touch that end of the field. So you can actually grow more if you want. Don't they feel that there's enough room to farm? You can actually grow more. Use that for farming still back of those farms. Here, beyond the tomato and bean field, they use this front field to grow vegetables. They have green onions, cilantros. Sometimes they have some bok choys and some Chinese mustards. So, you can use this to your imaginations. As we approach here, this is another little barn, but it's sort of broken in. You would have to fix it up in order to make it, to be usable. Now, to my right is a small little gate that will allow you to drive through on this side. There you have an empty field, again, that you can use for anything. This whole entire land is actually fenced in, so you're not too afraid of people just walking in and picking your vegetables in the middle of the night from you. Now, here is just a street view. I'm trying to get this drone to actually turn around and walk back towards the house as we are getting ready to prepare to tour the house. Now this home, just let me remind you, that is a custom-made home, and it is made of cinder block, not wood, cinder block. I always kid around with my buyers when they saw this house. I always joke that this house actually could withstand an atomic nuclear war. So here's a little panning around and playing with the drone a little bit. As you can see, there is plenty of space if you plan to farm. In back of this whole entire farm is the golf course and of course the Bradshaw Road. So you can see it's pretty close to the city if you want to live out in the countryside and yet don't want to live too far from the city. So here we are. Now in these areas, usually if the home has a large backyard or side yard, the front yards are usually pretty small and probably don't have any space for anything. But this one has a huge front yard. Now here you have your well, and people, just let you know, if you're wondering what are those pipes, these are your irrigation systems, and they go directly to the farm field. Your neighborhood is pretty much very quiet in this area because this is not a through street. You're probably like towards the end of a court, so only those people that knows you will most likely will drive in your area. So as we walk here to the front yard, if you notice that the front yard is also fenced in. So you have small little kids and you just want them to stretch out their legs, and you pretty much feel very comfortable because everything is fenced in. You're not too worried about anybody just walking onto your land. So this is the end of the outside tour of the perimeter of the homes. Let's take a look at the inside. When you walk into this home, you're going to be walking into an open floor plan. Now, people say that 1327 square feet is a pretty small, tiny home. But to me, I tell you that it all depends on the floor plan. A 1,000 square foot home could look like a 5,000 square foot home. This home, even though it's only 1327, the living room is huge because there's no wall separating it. It's just a big open floor plan. And of course, don't think that it's a living room combo with dining room. No, it's just a living room. As you can see, this is from the other view. So it's a huge living room with a low chimney, very workable, has a nice, very flow through atmosphere. And of course, the windows are all covered because they just freshly painted. Here you have the fourth bedroom, which was converted into a living space. You can see that the wall was taken out. Now, for those of you that wants a fourth, you can always add that wall back in. Right directly in front of you is the laundry room, and also leads you to your waterless tank system, heat on demand, and your 3-tier level water treatment system. Now, this 3-tier includes your ultraviolet, water softener, and charcoal. Now, for those of you that have never bought a farmland, usually you want to test out the water because it's a well system, and you want to make sure that the water is safe to drink. But with this 3-level water treatment system, you could actually drink the water right off the tap. Here's another view of the living room and the kitchen. As you can see, the kitchen is also an open floor space. Plenty of space for those people who loves to cook, or have host a cooking party. Of course, you get the options to customize your stove and your dishwashers. Now, of course, the refrigerator space is big enough to get a chef's refrigerator placed here. So, as we walk in, as you can notice, this house is totally remodeled, moved in. So, here, I'm gonna open the door to my right, and you're gonna see a totally remodeled kitchen bathroom. Now, this bathroom does comes with crown moldings on top. All the sinks and everything is pretty much newly remodeled within 5 years. The seller has done a great job upgrading this bathroom. You guys would have loved to see it when he bought it for the first time. This home was totally trash. Now, walking through the hallway, onto my right here is the master bedroom. Although in the picture it may seem a little small, this bedroom can actually accommodate a king-size bed. To my right is the twin sister bathroom. It looks exactly alike like the hallway bathroom. All the fixtures looks basically the same. And I'm going to pan you right through. And this master bedroom does offer a walk-in closet. Now, the walk-in closet does not have any shelvings on there, as it is set for you to create it and put anything into your imaginations. Now, we are gearing towards the end of our tour, and these are the last of the second and the third bedroom. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this virtual open house tour, and if you are interested in purchasing it, definitely reach out to me. The home is still available. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.